Ohio, Oklahoma, California, and Virginia. This is League One NCAA football. This is League One NCAA football.
Fires to the right side. Henry breaking a tackle, still trucking, gets past a few more guys and heads into the red zone. Reggie Henry with a 22-yard reception, and that'll bring Navy to the 13-yard line. Peter Moss found his fifth-year tight end on the right side, but he did plenty more work than he bargained for when he got to that pass off. Two tight ends, one on either side. Moss standing under center. Syracuse adjusts the defense on the fly. Moss fakes the handoff, play action, looking toward the end zone. That one nearly picked off a dangerous pass. Peter Moss getting away with that one. However, maybe had a couple of players that trying to find the end zone. They've got some eyes for 6 points.
That ball wasn't intercepted.
From the 13-yard line, it's second down.
Three wide receivers in the set here. Scott, the tight end on the right side. Bright in the shotgun alongside Moss. Moss takes the snap. Syracuse breaking down the pocket quickly, but fires off to Bright on the right side. That's his first reception of the season. It'll go for 6 yards and get to third and manageable. Peter Moss starting on his own 25-yard line for this drive, has 70 passing yards so far, and is looking to try and punch this thing in or at least get the first down to first and goal scenario. SMU, one of the American juggernauts, taking an early season loss to Baylor. That'll certainly be in the front of Navy's mind after this one. In the shotgun now, 3rd and 4 with 5 seconds on the clock. He takes the snap, fires toward the end zone. That'll be caught by Mays just short of the goal line, but the most important thing, he converts the first down. Drew Mays, but an absolute fantastic wide receiver here. The only one to catch a pass in that 5-man wide receiver core, but that's 38 yards through the air for him today. First and goal from the 1-yard line. What can Syracuse do down here defensively? And can Navy punch it in for 6? In the shotgun here, Moss surveying what the defense is doing. Taking some time off the clock, knowing that Syracuse is no slouch. They're going to have to milk some of this clock this game. Fakes the handoff, the option, heading the other way, fools all 3 defenders, and Peter Moss walks into the end zone for the first naval touchdown of the season. 6-0 pending the PAT. Peter Moss certainly fooled the defensive side on the right and waltzed it in for 6 points. This is a matchup that has happened multiple times in the past. Coach Ninja and Coach Spectre have played Navy 3 times in this league's history. This is the second time Syracuse and Navy have matched up. The first going the Orange's way, 35-10. However, one of the most classic matchups in League One history, Washington State taking down Penn State. Penn State taking down Washington State 9-6. Ewing will kick this one off as it travels past the uprights.
Sails out of the end zone for a touchback.
Navy will go to defense now as we see what the nation's most potent offense can do, setting up in a 7-0 hole. No need to remind anyone, I'm sure, but reigning Heisman winner, 5th-year senior Fran Tarkenton had a historic season last year, 43 passing touchdowns, 30 rushing touchdowns,
for the first time today.
and 1,987 rushing yards. and 3,529 passing yards. What can he do under center here as he takes the snap, rolls right, looks. This one's picked off, downs. The first pass of the season is picked off by Navy and is going to go the other way. Touchdown midshipman, not the start the Orange were looking for, I'm sure, but Navy has all the momentum here in the New Meadowlands. East Rutherford, New Jersey has plenty of anchors away playing throughout the stadium. Very uncharacteristic of Tarkington, but an enormous pick there for Naval Academy. The PAT is up and good, and this game, just like that, is 14-0 in favor of the midshipmen.
And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff.
Ewing will kick it off once again as the Navy offense will be happy to see more points go on the board without having to trot out there, as this one's taken out of the back of the end zone. Cutting right, breaks a couple of tackles. Syracuse is looking to try and get toward the sideline, shoving off yet another player, Ricky Sanders, with a 40-yard return. An excellent return there for the redshirt junior wide receiver. And they'll set up at the Syracuse 33-yard line.
So the offense will come back out onto the field, hoping
Fran
for a
Tarkington
little
trying to
better
make
result
amends for
than
an
that last
uncharacteristic
pick
interception.
This
He will set up
quarterback
in
needs
the
to be a little bit
shotgun
more
here.
careful because this defense
Ernest
is
Biner on
excellent
his right side getting the
capitalizing
handoff.
on
He'll
mistakes.
break and
Brought
spin
down after a
quickly
nice
for a
run up the
5-yard rush. Syracuse's offensive coordinator looking to get some momentum back, breaking into the no huddle. Same formation here, except this time Tarkington will pass. He gets it off, and that one is dropped. Looked to try and find his running back, the safety valve, but could not hold on after the tackle. 3rd and 5.
It's 3rd and 5.
Syracuse
Ball
with
on the
3
38-yard
wideouts
line.
in the set. Anderson, Monk, and Sanders. In the shotgun, Tarkington takes the snap, looking, finds his man over the middle, well covered by the Naval
They pick up some
defense,
positive
but
yards
that's
that
number
time.
87, Jerry Smith, the 5th-year senior, with an excellent 12-yard grab.
Able to deliver the ball on time, and remember, this play was well covered by that defense.
Fran Tarkington has his first completed pass of the season, takes the snap here in the shotgun, surveys, finds a man out left. That'll be Ernest Biner, losing 2 yards through the air. Navy had that one figured out as it was happening. As the clock winds down here, Syracuse staring at a 2nd and 12.
Second down at 12.
4 wideouts
Ball
in
on
the
their own
pattern
48.
here. Fran Tarkington in the shotgun. On his right is Ernest Biner. He takes the snap in the shotgun, has a pretty clean pocket, but will roll out to the right. He's going to run for this one, trying to get past midfield, and does so.
Around the
6-yard
46-yard
run.
line.
We'll set up 3rd and 6. This is certainly a very pivotal 3rd down on the game. Syracuse looking at this 14-0 hole, and knowing a first down here would certainly make things a lot easier. They'll line it up again on 3rd down. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right, tight end on the weak side as the running back is in the shotgun with Tarkenton, who's rolling left now after taking the snap, trying to find a block. He runs into his own man, but gets to the yellow stripe, just barely Tarkenton with another 6-yard rush. And a pivotal first down for the Orange. Ran into his wideout on the far side, but was able to compose himself and get past the sticks.
A linebacker shooting a gap, a defender in the secondary that's able to make a play on a football. Somebody's got to make a play, and that's what the difference between winning a football game and losing is how you play on third down.
It's 1st and 10.
For the first time in his career, redshirt freshman Larry Centers will get a snap. That's number 7 on the right side. Also, the backup, Cordell Stewart, in the flex zone. Couple of new faces for the Orange, as Ernest Biner takes that one ahead for 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Cordell Stewart, the man under center there, 5'10". Freshman, of course, he took the red shirt last season, watching what Tarkenton could do. He will get his fair share of snaps as Syracuse likes to get multiple quarterbacks involved to try and raise their experience as the seasons go on.
2nd and 8 coming up here.
2nd and 8 with the clock winding down here in the first quarter. Tarkenton back in the shotgun with 5 wide receivers in the pattern. He'll take the snap, has a pretty clean pocket, will roll out to the right with Williams in tow, looking, firing across his body and finds a man. That's number 18. Art Monk, the redshirt sophomore, with a huge play, 35 yards, perhaps the best play of the Syracuse young season so far. And that long play will set up 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. The Orange trying to capitalize on a fantastic play with the redshirt sophomore Art Monk getting open on the right side.
And this is the 9th play of the current drive.
Setting up with 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back on the left side. Tarkenton will hand this one off, but Biner is stopped just short. A 1-yard gain for the redshirt senior. 2nd and goal, and we may just see the Orange wind the clock out of the first quarter in what has been a fantastic game so far, especially for the midshipmen. We'll see with 10 seconds left as Syracuse will trot out the offense. Will they get this play off before the whistles are blown? 5 wide receivers in the pattern. Tarkenton surveys, will snap it before the whistle. Looking, firing. This one is caught. Flipper Anderson with the 2-yard touchdown reception. And that'll make things just a bit closer before we get the break here. The kick is up and through, and as the first quarter expires, Navy leads the Syracuse Orange 14-7.
What a first quarter we
Flipper
had.
Anderson with his
That was
first
an
catch on the
offensive
season, making that a
explosion.
touchdown. Fran Tarkenton
14-7,
making amends
midshipmen.
for his
Looks
first
like they're ready
throw
for the
being an
kick.
interception on the season, returned for a touchdown.
And he got all of this one. Great
Syracuse
kick.
boots this out of the
And
back
they
of the
can
end
forget about
zone, and
returning
Navy
this
starts
one.
the second quarter on its own 25-yard line. A methodical touchdown drive the first time out. Let's see what Navy can do with that 7-point cushion.
And we welcome you back to the action here, just about set to start the second quarter. In a game that's this close, you can't afford to waste possessions. Navy
In the
is
backfield,
up by
Peter
a
Moss
touchdown.
standing aside Joe Bright. He will take the snap.
He's wrapped
Pocket
up for the
collapses
sack.
quickly, and Moss
You know,
taken
Brent, I
down.
think this
an
is where the
8-yard
game has
sack.
really changed over the
That'll be
last 5
John
or 6
Lynch, his
years in
second
college
tackle for
football.
loss on the
Is
day, this time
athleticability and
on the quarterback
speed now
for
at
an
safety.
8-yard sack.
These guys are covering receivers. They're being asked to be able to be physical and make tackles. But also now we're starting to see them blitz more and more. And this young man has enough speed to be able to get all the way to the quarterback for a sack.
So the sack makes this a 2nd and long.
Clock rolling here on 2nd and a mile. Looks like the same set here for the Naval Academy. Moss in the backfield, Bright on his right hip. He'll take his time and snap. Pocket a little more time this time. Gets it to a safety valve Bright, who breaks the tackle and gets 14 yards out of it. All things considered, pretty solid play, getting 14 yards to make it 3rd and 4.
Something happen.
So it's 3rd down now, and they're going to need about 4.
In the shotgun here with 3 wide receivers and a tight end. Moss gets the pass off just barely after being
maybe 3 yards that time
yard
on
toss
the pass.
to Joe Bright, who was tackled just shy of the 1st down marker. That 3-yard play perhaps let Navy think if they want to try and convert or punt this thing away to the Orange. After some brief deliberation, Navy will, in fact, kick this thing back
is the deep man awaiting the return
to the Orange. 4th and 1, a bit too risky. Punter takes the deep snap. No pressure. We'll punt this thing toward the far sideline. This will be Ricky Sanders to try and return. A nifty spin move gets him 13 yards on the punt return. And Syracuse will try and knot things up with a touchdown drive of their own. 6:15 left here in the 2nd quarter as they start the drive on the 26th.
With 1 quarter down, I really haven't seen too much separation between these two squads. Might be neck and neck the whole way. In the shotgun and 5 wideouts.
Syracuse sets up in the shotgun. Tarkington takes the snap, rolls right, has some early pressure, and just kind of lobs that thing up as he's trying to avoid the sack. Dangerous pass, but it will fall harmlessly to the turf. 2nd and 10.
He's able to throw the ball away.
.6:12 left here in the 2nd quarter. Number 1 Navy leads number 2 Syracuse 14-7. If you're just now joining us, Navy scored on its first drive of the game. Syracuse threw a pick 6 on their first play of the game and then got a touchdown back and then forced a defensive stop. Syracuse rolling right. Tarkington finds a man wide open, breaks through the secondary. That's going to be Flipper Anderson for another 32 yards. He had the touchdown catch earlier, and this time he has a 32-yard gain from Fran Tarkington. That'll break this thing open as Syracuse sets up in Navy territory on the 42-yard line. With that completion, Syracuse overtakes Navy in offensive yards, 99-84.
And the big pickup through the air has made it 1st and 10.
In the shotgun, Tarkington has Viner on his right hip, fakes the handoff, he'll take it himself. After a spin move, he gains 4 on the right side. 2nd and 6. Two tight ends in the pattern here for Syracuse. We've seen plenty of Jerry Smith today, but that's also 3rd-year sophomore Wayne Milner as Tarkington rolls out to the right looking for a player. That is Jerry Smith, 22-yard gain on the right side as he toe taps near the sideline. That'll bring things to a 1st and 10 on the 16. Splitting things up pretty evenly. Jerry Smith with 34 receiving yards, Flipper Anderson with 34, and Art Monk with 35.
1st down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 16-yard line.
Tarkington once again in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers and a halfback. He will hand this thing off to Biner, who breaks a tackle.
They'll bring him down at the 8-yard
An
line.
awkward fall, but an 8-yard gain nonetheless. 2nd and 2 as Syracuse is driving. Second and 2 on the 8. Syracuse, of course, one of the best teams in all of college football over the past decade, but last season, one of the best teams in terms of red zone efficiency.
So it's 2nd down and about 2
trying to
yards
make it
to
2
go.
for 2 this season in terms of touchdowns in the red zone. Targeton in the shotgun has a running back on the right side. He will fake it to him. He's well guarded, but he breaks free.
Well, a quarterback just showed us he
Fooling
can
both
beat you with his
defensive
feet
players.
as well as his
Targeton waltzes
arm.
in
And
for an
what a
8-yard
dangerous
score,
weapon
and
this
just
guy
like
is.
that, Syracuse is a PAT away from tying this thing up.
The extra point to tie this game up. And he hits the PAT.
And just like that, it is through 14-14.
Syracuse ready to kick
Can
this
the
one
Naval
off.
Academy respond with just under 5 minutes left here in the half?
Sends it
And what's
sailing
shaping up to
downfield.
already be a League One classic.
And it sails out of the end
This one
zone
sails
for a
through the
touchback.
uprights as Navy will set up on its own 25. The midshipmen struggling on that last drive after taking an early sack. What can Peter Moss and company do? One of the early storylines, of course, Joe Bright, the 5th-year senior, perhaps the best player in this offense, or one of. 3 carries, -2 yards,
This is the
though
point
he does
in the
have
game where you
23
don't want to
yards
make
to
any
the air.
mistakes that give the other guys a reason to feel more confident going into halftime.
Moss will line up in the shotgun. 1 tight end and 1 running back. Barking out some signals here as he will hand it off to Bright, trying to get past the line of scrimmage, and does 2 yards, getting
Boy,
back
the senior
to
linebacker's
even
experience
on the
really
day.
showed on that run. He sniffed it out perfectly and made the tackle.
Second and 8. Ball on the 27.
Navy lines up with a running back, a tight end, and 3 wideouts in the shotgun. Number 10, Peter Moss, taking his time. Will snap it, surveys,
Strike to
finds
his
his
receiver,
man,
no
but
good.
that one's dropped. Well contested there by the Syracuse DB, who was looking for 5th-year senior Travis King over the middle. A big 3rd and 8 here upcoming for the Navy offense.
From their own 27-yard line. 3rd down. They come out in an empty backfield.
5 wide in the pattern here for Navy. Standing in the shotgun. Peter Moss looks at what the defense is giving him. Will toss this one short of the line, but
He's
Mays
taken
will
down
work
at the
his feet
39.
past it.
Not a real
That's 4
fancy
third
play
down
here,
conversions
just
on
a
the day
smartly
for
run
Navy.
route. Good protection
Peter Moss
and a well-played
finds
ball. Most times you
Drew
don't
Mays.
need much more than that.
We've got a 1st and 10.
1st and
Ball on
10
the
here
39.
for Navy.
There are
Trying to
5
milk
wide
some clock out
receivers
of this
split out.
first
The quarterback
half.
in the gun.
Takes the snap in the shotgun, looking left, and
Here's a
will
throw.
find
I don't think he
Henry
got
on the
anything
left
on
side for a 3-yard gain.
On the play. That'll make it 2nd and 7.
Second and 7 for the midshipmen. Peter Moss breaking into triple digits in the passing category, 108 through
From their
the air,
own
50 of
42-yard
those to
line.
Drew Mays,
Second
35 to
down.
Reggie Henry. In the shotgun on 2nd and 7. Peter Moss takes the snap, surveys,
Looking
has a
for his
couple of
man,
guys, and this
incomplete.
one just
I know this
bounces
quarterback
right
trusts
off the
his arm
hands of
and
number
his
83,
receivers, but he's
Drew
got to
Mays.
know when not to throw the ball.
3rd
He
and
didn't have
7
any room at
upcoming
all,
as
and he's
Syracuse
lucky
catches a
it
break.
wasn't intercepted.
And so it's another third down upcoming here.
4 for 5 on third downs today.
They'll
Are the
line up with
midshipmen
5
trying to
wide
make
receivers.
it 5 for 6 with 5 in the pattern. In the shotgun, Peter Moss looks at the Syracuse defense. Takes the snap as the pocket folds. This one nearly picked off. That is Reggie White with the deflection.
Really had nowhere
Most
to go on
importantly,
that
it will
one.
force
The play
a
was
4th and
very
7
well
and
defended.
surely
Now
a
the
punt
incompletion
for
will
Navy.
force the 4th down and a punt.
The biggest
Ewing
boot on
awaits the
campus. Ewing will try and get as much as he can out of this punt with 3:09 remaining in the half. Takes the deep snap and boots it toward the left sideline. The receiver will not have a chance to field this thing as it flies out at the Syracuse 41. 3:05 remaining. Can Syracuse rattle off 21 straight points or perhaps get a field goal to take the slim lead at half? We'll see what Fran Tarkenton and co. have to say.
This offense did really well with the air attack on their last trip out there. Let's see if they can do the same thing here.
He lines up in the shotgun with Biner on his left hip.
These guys have worked all
He will
week
hand
on
it
their
off to Biner,
preparation
who,
attack this
the
defense.
elusive
Right
man,
now, it's really
dodges
paying
a tackle early
Solid
and gets 4
5-yard
yards to the
pickup
left
there on
side.
halfback option.
Makes it 2nd and 6.
From their own 46-yard line. 2nd down.
In the shotgun with 3 wide receivers on the right side. Tarkenton takes the snap,
He's on the
surveys,
run.
rolls left, has 1 in tow
He's
for
under
Navy.
pressure.
Gets
Out of
past him,
bounds
towing
at
the
the
sideline, but
47-yard
just
line.
1 yard on the play as he steps into the white paint. 3rd and a long 5 on its own 47 for Syracuse. We'll see what the Naval defensive coordinator can whip up to try and get the ball back before the break.
3rd and 5 coming up. Ball on the
A
47.
perfect 2 for 2 for the Orange on 3rd down this season. Tarkenton in the shotgun with 2 tight ends. Pocket looks pretty clean so far as he rolls to the right, trying to beat the man to the
Good tackle
outside,
there
trying
in
to put a
space.
move on him, but an
Navy's going to
excellent
use their
tackle
first
there
time out of the half
by
here.
number
They'll be short
51.
of the first down
Fran
after that
Tarkenton with a
unsuccessful
2-yard
running
run,
play.
but that's
Nice
short
job
of
here
the
by the
sticks.
defense of holding firm and forcing a 4th down.
A fantastic tackle there as Navy takes a timeout with 2:15 left in the half. That play could prove pivotal. Syracuse dipping into
Fourth
the bag
down,
of
and
4th
the
downs.
offense
Get
is still on
12
the field.
all season in League One.
They spread
They'll
the
elect to
field
take
in
one
the
of
gun
those
with 5
12
wide
right
receivers.
here on 4th and 3 with 5 wide in the
Now
pattern.
he's scrambling.
Tarkenton rolls out to the left, trying to beat the Naval defense, and he cannot do so.
And they
Take
get
him
the
down.
sack. The
Fran
offense couldn't
Tarkenton
convert,
sacks
and that's
for a
going to cost them a
1-yard loss.
possession.
That's
And
a
just
big
like
time
that,
stop
Navy
here by
has
the
the ball
defense.
in
I know we're
Syracuse
only in week
territory,
1,
trying
but this
to
defense
capitalize
looks like they're in
on what
mid-season
was a
form.
questionable offensive call for the Orange and ultimately led to a 1-yard sack. Big plays on
You
both
always want to go in
sides.
the locker room
Navy's
with
defense
momentum.
perhaps
So as
the
we get
biggest
closer to halftime, I
storyline
think we'll
of this
see
game
more
so
and
far.
more attempts to create big plays.
Moss takes
They
it
come
in the
out a
shotgun with
5-wide
5
set.
wide receivers in the pattern. 2:09 left in the first half. He'll take the snap, has a clean pocket early, passes out to
And he's hit
O'Reliable.
immediately. So
That's
it's
Reggie
complete,
Henry
but they didn't
with a
get much
3-yard
there.
grab.
That's because the defense was just waiting on it, and they attacked. The quarterback should have found
Navy
somebody
looking
else
to hurry up
downfield.
here with just under 2 minutes in the first half. The exact same pattern for the Academy. Taking the snap is Moss in the shotgun. Looking right, finds Henry yet again.
Down
Henry
he
bounds
goes
out for the
at the
first down.
38.
Just shy, 6-yard reception, 3rd and inches. As Navy tries with the
They'll spread
5
the field with
wide
5
set
wide.
on 3rd and inches. Let's see if Syracuse can capitalize on stopping them short. Moss in the shotgun, tosses, finds Fuller, doesn't make the catch, he does. B.J. Fuller with his first grab of the game, that's 9 yards, and importantly, a first down and stopping the clock. Navy will run the hurry up yet again with 1:30 and ticking. Moss in the shotgun, takes the snap. A big pickup tackle by the right guard there, but it will not matter as the ball falls uselessly to the floor. .123 left here in the first half, 2nd and 10 on the orange 29-yard line.
It's second down. Quarterback all by himself
Moss
in the
shotgun
backfield with 5 wideouts.
Getting used to this 5-wide set here from the midshipmen. The offensive line has held up so far. We'll try to do so on this play. Plenty of time to get it out to King. That's a 13-yard reception for Travis King, setting up 1st and 10. Peter Moss is dealing early.
You're not going to put the ball into coverage like that very often. But if you have confidence and trust,
same pattern for Navy.
Wide receiver, you know what his
117
abilities
and
are.
taking Moss takes in the shotgun, dumps it off to Henry on the left side. That'll be a 5-yard gain.
You're willing to take that chance.
Tackled in open space there.
5 wide.
Trying to hurry things up. Moss takes the snap. Looks like close to the same play as Henry can break free. He will get toward the end zone and will punch things in. That is a huge 11-yard touchdown catch by Reggie Henry.
Navy is up by 6.
Navy
And he adds
sets the
an
ball
extra
down,
point.
and that thing is through for a 21-14 lead. 56 ticks remain here in the first half. Reggie Henry, one of the biggest playmakers for the offense for Navy. The 5th-year senior has 60 receiving yards and his first touchdown catch of the season from Peter Moss.
He really got
Ewing
a
will
hold of
boot
that
this
kick.
thing, and it may be received here by Troy Brown, and
To
he
the
will
10.
take it out of the end zone. Downtown Troy Brown trying to break
The
things
18-yard
free,
line.
but gets stopped just shy of where he would have if he took a knee. 7 yards short. That was the wrong marker. 18-yard line is where Syracuse will set up shop with 53 seconds remaining.
Momentum swings have been
Ernest
fairly
Biner
even.
not
And
in
with
the
so
pattern
little
here for
separation, this
Syracuse.
game
That's
can
the
be
backup
drastically
halfback,
changed
Larry
on just
Centers,
1 or 2
the
plays.
redshirt
They
freshman,
come out on an
as
empty
a wide
backfield.
receiver. Tarkenton rolling to the
Cavalry's
right,
coming.
trying to find his man. He'll just push
He's
toward the
pushed out of
sideline and
bounds
keep
at
turning
the
those legs for a
23-yard line.
4-yard
Picks up
run.
5 on the
Something we've
scramble.
gotten used to seeing from Fran Tarkenton. He can use his arm just as well as he can use his legs, and gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 47 seconds remaining. Syracuse, of course, deferred to start the match, so they will get the ball back at halftime. But what will the deficit be?
From their own 23-yard line.
Viner steps
Second
back
down.
into the fold as just one wide receiver's in the pattern, 2 tight ends and 2 halfbacks. Faking it to Biner.
Takes it up the
Tarkenton's
middle
got some
for a
room
nice
to run
run.
and will spin for 8 yards on the ground. That's 38 rushing yards on the day for Fran Tarkenton as he will hurry up his offense to try and get some points out of this
They'll line
drive.
up with 5 wide receivers.
Different pattern now, 5 wide here for the Orange.
gonna
Tarkenton
try
will
and
roll
scramble.
out to the right, has a man chasing him. That's Williams who dives.
Now he's
Tarkenton
gonna run
breaks
and
free
watch
of the
out.
tackle, tries to shake yet
He's
another, but
tackled
is
at the
stuffed
39-yard
at the
line.
38-yard
Syracuse
line.
gonna
An
take their
8-yard
first time out
run,
of the half.
but will take off plenty of time as
Makes it
Syracuse
2nd and
elects
2.
to use its first timeout. Smartly called there by Coach Spectre. Probably wasn't going to get the guys to the line without costing precious seconds off this 33-yard half, or 33-second half remaining. 5th-year senior Flipper Anderson is the only
It's
one
second
to
down,
emerge
and they're
from the
about
huddle.
2 yards away from the sticks.
As far as wide receivers go, 2 tight ends two halfbacks and the backup quarterback, Cordell Stewart. He will pass. The backup will get his first pass of the season, a 3-yard shot to Larry Centers, freshman to freshman.
They come out in a 5-wide set.
This is the hurry up here for the redshirt freshman. Cordell Stewart's getting in his chops. He will roll out to the left. Redshirt freshman trying to find somebody, but will be sacked for a 3-yard loss. That is a huge loss for the Orange in terms of time, and we'll have to use yet another timeout.
And challenges them to start playing a little bit better.
This Navy defense is piling on the pressure for Syracuse. Though this timeout will allow the Orange to get Fran Tarkenton back into the contest.
So it's second down and 13 yards to go following that quarterback sack.
With two tight ends, two wide receivers, and the running back in the pattern, Tarkenton takes the snap and immediately rolls to his right, trying to find a wide receiver, not anybody to look for. Fires across his body. That's into the waiting deflection there of a Naval defender as Downs breaks up the pass. 3rd and 13 for the Syracuse offense. 16 seconds remaining as we take a look back at Syracuse electing to go for it on that 4th and short, getting sacked on the play, giving it back to Navy. That was a very big play in the ball game as Syracuse trying with 16 seconds left to get what they can out of this drive. Four wideouts in the pattern for the Orange. Anderson, Monk, Sanders, and Jefferson, with Tarkenton standing alongside Biner in the backfield. 15 seconds remain as he takes the snap. A clean pocket. He surveys. Chucks this one downfield. It'll be a jump ball. This one deflected.
So they couldn't pick up the long yardage, and now they'll
well
have to
done
punt.
by the safeties to keep his eyes and mind on
task. Very good stand by this defense.
Tarkenton now faces a 4th and 13 with 9 seconds remaining, and you have to imagine after already dispensing one of those 4th downs, they may just punt this thing away and take their losses. The offensive coordinator in the booth shouting some things through the microphone. It appears they're going to go for it on 4th yet again. 4th and 13 from the Navy 39 with 9 seconds. Now you have to imagine, with 4 wideouts in the pattern here and 9 seconds remaining. Excuse me, this is on Syracuse's own 39-yard line.
This is a pretty controversial call.
But they're going to try and chuck this thing as far as they can and waste as much time as they can as Tarkenton is going to throw it to the left. This one is caught on the left side. That's
around the 44-yard line.
His first catch of the season goes for 17 and a first down. And with 4 seconds remaining, Syracuse, since they stepped out of bounds, will not have to use that final timeout. 44 yards remain from the Orange and pay dirt unless they want to step into a 61-yard field goal. This might just be a Hail Mary. And we will see the offense step into the pattern.
From the 44-yard line.
Not a single wide receiver in the pattern. And that's because Syracuse is in a goal line set. We'll hand off to the fullback, number 41, still bumbling, Lorenzo Neal with an 8-yard gain to end this half.
Wow, what an offensive display by both teams.
And we will take a brief 6-minute break here. And I will gladly keep talking about some stats as we head into halftime. The score, Navy leads 21-14 over the Orange. In total offense, the Orange leads 192 to 148. But the story of the game has to be that early game interception from Fran Tarkenton, taken to the house by Navy for the pick six. On the ground, Syracuse has dominated 17 rushes for 71 yards and a score. Navy struggling with 6 rushes and 7 yards in the red, though they do have the 1 touchdown scamper from Peter Moss. Both teams 2 for 2 in the red zone, both with 2 touchdowns. Syracuse electing to use 2 of their 12 fourth down tries early in the first half, going 2 for 4 on third, while Navy went 5 for 7. Perhaps the biggest offensive stars in this game were on the Naval side of the field, as Peter Moss has 2 touchdowns, 1 in the air, 1 on the ground, and 155 passing yards, a clean slate in terms of turnovers. Joe Bright, as we've said, has struggled to get things going on the ground, but has 23 receiving yards in the air here. Fifth-year tight end Reggie Henry with 60 receiving yards and a touchdown. Drew Mays, the third-year sophomore wide receiver, has 50 receiving yards on the day. Kind of a surprise, as he is the third wideout in the depth chart behind B.J. Fuller and Travis King. If we could take a step over and look at the Syracuse side of things, Fran Tarkenton, the reigning Heisman winner, with 118 passing yards, 46 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, but that pivotal interception early in the game. He's also taken that pivotal sack on 4th down. Cordell Stewart has stepped into this contest, has 1 rush and 1 pass. Of course, that rush was a 3-yard sack, but he has taken some snaps as a redshirt freshman. Ernest Biner, the redshirt senior for the Orange, has 20 rushing yards, -2 receiving yards, and has not gotten much going on the ground in terms of running. In the receiving category, Syracuse, as they are known to do, will spread things out and have done just that. 4 receivers with double-digit receiving yards on the day. 35 for Art Monk, 32 for Flipper Anderson, 34 for Jerry Smith, and 17 for Ricky Sanders. The touchdown pass, of course, going to the 5th-year senior Flipper Anderson out of Boynton Beach, Florida. Taking a look at some other scores that have occurred here in League One, Buffalo took down Minnesota 23-10 in the 7th meeting between those two coaches. Calvin and Jared look to kick off tonight, if I am not mistaken, in one of the most storied rivalries in all of League One football, the Tar Heel Bowl. That will be the 10th iteration of those two teams playing. Jared leads 5-4 over Calvin in the historical rivalry. Of course, those two coaches have spanned a total of 8 teams now, both of them now at Washington and Indiana. Navy and Syracuse have been pretty consistent in terms of scoring this game. Navy, of course, taking that 14-0 lead early. Syracuse bouncing back to make it 14-all, and Navy capitalizing with 55 seconds remaining in the half to take a 7-point lead. Am I still muted or can you hear me? Welcome back to the second half of the game of the century. Number 1 Navy against number 2 Syracuse. The midshipmen hold a slim 7-point lead. 21-14 is the score. Of course, Syracuse will receive the second half kick. Fran Tarkenton, the reigning Heisman winner, will try and mount a comeback here in the second half.
All right, Reese, David, thanks, guys. Just about set to start the third quarter.
Ewing will step into it.
And he got
It goes a touch right.
Great kick.
And Ricky Sanders will receive. He will take this one out of the back of the end zone, trying to avoid some tackles from Navy. Gets an edge, and he's looking toward the sideline. A shoestring tackle on the left side by number 43. Make sure that he cannot get any further than the 26. Weighing the pros and cons, Syracuse has often taken the ball out of the end zone. Early in the game, had a couple of good returns that netted positive, but these last two returns have been about where they would have gotten if they hadn't taken a knee or even further back. Fran Tarkenton sets up his men here in the second half. Will be in the shotgun with 3 wideouts to the left, a running back and tight end on the right side. Pocket collapsing early as Tarkenton looks to the right side, finding his man on the right. That is, of course, halfback Ernest Biner, number 44, breaking out of the backfield and getting downfield in a hurry. A 44-yard reception. Excuse me, not a 44-yard reception, but a good reception there for number 44 gets Syracuse to the 48.
First and 10, ball on the 48-yard line. They'll spread the field with 5 wide.
Tarkenton in the backfield, 5 wideouts. Takes the snap in the shotgun and rolls left. Doesn't have too many men to look for and will be hit as he throws, but that ball was released before he was taken to the turf. Second and 10 after the incompleted pass.
When the defense starts to get pressure, you've got to either get rid of that football or check it down or take off and run with it.
Second and 10.
Biner will take a breather on the sideline as redshirt freshman Larry Centers is out there at wide receiver. Firing over the top, he will find number 14. That's Flipper Anderson with a long gain on the play.
Time to improvise for the big play. That's the kind of quick thinking you need to succeed as a quarterback.
Over the middle to the 16-yard line. Be a 36-yard grab for the flip.
And the big pickup through the air has made it first and 10.
Tarkenton in the backfield. Will hand this thing off to Biner, who rolls to the left, scrambles back to the center, and gets 5 yards on the ground.
That brings up second and 5.
Second down and 5. Ball on the 12-yard line.
2 players in the backfield. That's going to be a quick option. Pitch out to number 7, trying to find the edge and taken down just shy of the first down marker. Larry Centers gets 4.5 yards to the 6. Third and inches here for the Orange.
It's third down, and they're about the length of the football away from the first down marker. They're trying to stop the run here with a goal line defense.
Fullback Wycheck steps in as Tarkenton just barrels forward in the QB sneak, gets a second push, and it'll be first and goal after converting on the 3-yard line. 3-yard scamper by the signal caller.
Here they go, first and goal, down by a touchdown.
Syracuse sets up in first and goal. 2 tight ends, 2 fullbacks, and a running back. This will be handed off up the gut to number 41, Lorenzo Neal. He'll get 1 yard on the ground, second and goal. The Maryland Eye gets 1 yard there for the Orange. Can Navy hold strong down here in the red zone?
From the 2-yard
Wide receiver Roy Jefferson will take a breather as the backup halfback is in at wide receiver. Taking the snap, Tarkenton will rush toward the end zone untouched. He breaks in for his second rushing touchdown of the day. And just like that, this could be a tie ball game with the PAT sailing through the uprights. Tarkenton, 3 touchdowns on the day, 1 through the air, 2 on the ground, and this thing is knotted up at 21 apiece, 5:47 remaining in the third quarter.
Syracuse to kick this one off. He kicks it off, and
Navy kicks away, or excuse me, Syracuse kicks away to Navy. Booker watches it sail through the uprights. And the midshipman will set up at the 25 with Peter Moss trying to regain that first quarter form.
Now's when you start to approach each drive thinking that if you take the lead, then the momentum you gain feels that much more powerful.
3 wideouts, a tight end, and a running back for Peter Moss. He takes the snap in the shotgun, has some time, fires to the left. That's Henry breaking free. He'll stiff arm his way to a 1st and 10. That's a 17-yard grab for Reggie Henry. First and 10 on the Navy 42. 5.5 remaining here in the third quarter. 21-21 as Moss lines up in the same pattern in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Has some time to look around, fires, and this one's picked off. Heading the other way, can Syracuse get a defensive touchdown of their own? They will do just that as number 26 intercepts Peter Moss for a pick 6, and Syracuse takes a lead of its own.
He makes the PAT.
That is Martin Mayhew, the fifth-year senior, who ran that thing back. The number one DB for the Orange. It's a defensive touchdown and gives his team a 7-point lead as Navy will try and bounce back.
He sends this one deep. And it sails out of
This
the end
one
zone
will
for a
sail
touchdown.
past Travis King in the end zone. And Navy will set up once again at the 25-yard line.
Let's see how the defense responds now, coming off that big play just a moment ago.
You know, after that
The one
last
forced
turnover by
punt
this offense, the momentum
in the
has
second
really
quarter
turned
proving to
in
be the
this game,
difference
and right
as
now,
Moss
you
takes the
gotta
snap
believe
in the
this
shotgun,
defense is gonna
finds
come
his man
out
over the middle.
and play
That's
with a
Bright
lot
for
of
first down and
intensity a lot
plenty
of
more.
aggression.
And down he
Bright
goes,
taking
the 42
yet another
yard line.
reception and doing what he does best. Moving on for 18 yards through the air.
From their own 43-yard line. First down.
Bright now on the left hip of Moss. Scott as his lone tight end on the right side. Stands in the shotgun and takes the snap. Syracuse collapsing. He gets it out to Henry for a 3-yard reception.
46-yard line. That'll make it 2nd and 7.
From their own 46-yard line.
2nd and 7
down.
for the midshipmen. 3 wideouts, a tight end and a running back. In the shotgun, Moss takes the snap, surveys, and he gets drilled. A blindside sack there, and he falls for an 8-yard loss. That'll be 3rd and 15 for the midshipmen.
Challenges them to start playing a little bit better.
With plenty of ground to make up here for Navy.
3rd down, and they need to get it inside
They have
the
converted
47.
on a long 3rd down today. Can they do it yet
In the
again?
gun, empty backfield, 5 wide receivers in the formation.
5 wide in the pattern, 3rd and 15. Moss takes the snap in the shotgun. Pocket holds, stands tall, tosses. This one caught by Henry. He threads the needle and finds his man over the top. Henry getting down to the 36-yard line. An excellent pitch and catch there to the 5th-year tight end.
From the 36-yard line, first down.
Moss stands in the shotgun. Another crucial 3rd down pickup.
Complete.
Stands and will fire to the left, this time to Mays for an 8-yard gain.
They look to be in sync right now. They're both reading the defense properly, and the result is a nice gain.
Second and short. Will Navy try and pull something out of its bag of tricks?
So it's 2nd down and about 2 yards to go.
Moss in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. He'll get the first down and a couple more yards.
That's another first down.
First and
Right
10
now,
for
you
Navy.
can just really feel and sense the rhythm that this offense is in. Their ability to pick up first downs, just pushing this defense further and further down, back deep into their own territory.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 24.
Moss stands in a tight pattern here with 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, and a wide out on the right side. Stands tall and delivers to Scott, but he cannot hold on. Leonard Scott, the fifth-year fullback, drops the pass. 2nd and 10 on the 24 for Navy.
And this play is number 8 on the drive.
4 wideouts and a tight end in the pattern. Moss in the shotgun. 2:31 left in the third quarter. He takes the snap, fires over the middle. This one caught by Henry. No, he drops it. And Moss looks like he's tackled late, but no flag. A nice pass there by Moss, but cannot hold on. 3rd and 10 on the 24.
So we're looking at another 3rd down here. There are 5 wide receivers.
5 wideouts in the pattern here for Navy, trying to pick up yet another 3rd and long. Moss calls for the snap and receives, has some time. Tosses, Mays drops yet another one. 4th and 10 upcoming. Moss can put him on a platter, but if his players can't deliver, there's nothing he can do about it. 4th and 10 from the 24. This would be a 41-yard field goal for the Naval Academy.
It's 4th down. They're going to try a long
and they'll set up
here
for just that. Trying to cut the lead to 4 for Syracuse. The kick is up and through. 24-28. Navy trails by just 4 points now after the boot is true.
Ewing has the ball all teed up, and he's ready to kick this one off.
2:20 remains here in the third quarter. Navy will kick it deep. And Ricky Sanders won't have an option to take this one out. Syracuse sets up at the 25.
Both squads are digging in now. Let's see what happens on this.
One of the most transcendent signal callers of our day takes his men back onto the field as he takes the snap in the shotgun, rolling to the right, surveys the field, and will chuck this one deep, wide open across the middle of the field. That's number 14, Flipper Anderson. A huge gain there, going from the Syracuse 25 to the Navy 33. You have to question what went wrong in the secondary. 42-yard gain.
So the big gain resulting from the pass play leaves us with a
on the Navy 33. Syracuse sets up with 5 wide receivers. Tarkenton takes the snap, has a clean pocket, but will elect to roll to the right-hand side. Losing his men, he's got his wideout on the right side. An excellent pitch and catch, and a 1st and goal upcoming. Moving from the 33 to the 7, that's a 26-yard pitch and catch.
It's 1st down, and they'll be looking for 6 points here.
1st and goal now. Syracuse trying to punch things in and will fake the handoff. The option moves toward the right and doesn't go very far. Perhaps a 1-yard gain there for Tarkenton on the ground.
They're at the 7.
Second and goal from the 7 for the Orange. 28-24, Syracuse leads. In the shotgun, Tarkenton takes the snap. Clean pocket, stands tall, fires this one over the middle. Stands back up, but cannot go any further than that. That'll be a pitch to Ricky Sanders for 4 yards. A very big third and goal scenario from the 3-yard line. Syracuse will bring out
Here we go. Third and goal from the 3-yard line.
5 wide receivers in the pattern.
They come out in an empty backfield.
Navy tries to combat things. Syracuse will run with its quarterback Tarkenton heading toward the end zone. Stopped just shy. Looked to be about half a foot away from the goal line. 4th and goal from the 1. What will the Orange do as the 4th quarter draws near? For the 3rd time this contest, Syracuse will see 4th down on the Docker and head for it. And they will get in. Tarkenton with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day. This time, going forward on 4th down pays off. And Tarkenton punches it in for a 1-yard score to give the Orange some breathing room. The PAT here would make it an 11-point cushion, and that's just what it is. 35-24, Syracuse rattling off 5 scores on the day, 4 from Fran Tarkenton.
Knight is lined up to kick this one off.
Booting this thing away, Navy will not have a chance to return. And with the 4th quarter on the doorstep here, Navy will need to pull something out of this drive.
There's got to be some sense of urgency to this offense right now. They don't have the luxury of wasting drives if they want to get back in the game.
Moss in the shotgun, 5 wideouts in the pattern. He'll take the snap. Survey, fire to the right. This one is Mays making the catch for 7 yards, and that will be the end of the 3rd quarter.
Syracuse in front by 11.
35-24, the reigning national champions lead. The number 1 Navy midshipmen, 35-24.
Into the 4th quarter now, and we're back to the
2nd
action.
and 3
They'll spread
on the
field with
32-yard
5
line.
wide.
5 wide receivers in the pattern as Syracuse tries to close this one out. Navy firing to the left. This one is bouncing off the crown of the helmet and falling harmlessly to the dirt. Another storyline of this game continues to unfold. Navy, their quarterback Peter Moss can put it on the target, but can those receivers come down with it? 3 drop passes on the day by my count.
3rd down, and they're going to need about 3 yards to pick up the 1st down. 5 wide.
Navy with a crucial 3rd and 3. Moss operates without any pressure throwing, but this one will be picked off. Intercepted. Peter Moss's 2nd pick of the day. There was just no pressure in the pocket because all of the players seem to be covering extremely well the Navy wideouts. And just like that, Syracuse can try and close things out. Navy put under some pressure, but their defense has been spectacular today.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on the 45-yard line. So an empty
Syracuse
backfield
sets
with
up
5 wide
shop.
receivers.
Just past midfield, Tarkenton rolling out to the left, looking for a wide receiver. Will chuck it downfield, and this one will fall
Yeah, are you kidding me? There's
on
a
the
blanket
white
around
stripe.
that receiver.
Incomplete,
Somebody else
2nd
had to
and
be
10.
open.
45-yard line. It's second down.
Syracuse in the shotgun. Tarkenton will hand off. This time it will go to Ernest Biner, who rumbles forward
When you're running the ball for big chunks of yards like
for the
that,
first
you got
down.
something working.
He'll find his way forward for 13 yards on the ground.
First and 10. Ball on the 32-yard
Syracuse
line.
continues to use what it can of the clock. Two wideouts, 2 tight ends, and a running back. As Tarkenton pulls to the right, he will be able to scramble out of the pocket and get plenty of yards. Puts the move on Navy's safety, gets a first down. 17-yard scamper for the Heisman. And it's first and 10 on the Navy 15-yard line.
From the 15-yard line.
Just 7 minutes remaining here in the contest. As the backup is in, Cordell Stewart will take the reins and hand things off to redshirt freshman Larry Centers for no gain. Syracuse with a 2nd and 10. Tarkenton emerges from the sideline and will take over for the redshirt freshman Cordell Stewart.
Number 30 comes in at
Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 15-yard line.
In the shotgun, 2 halfbacks, 2 tight ends. Tarkenton takes the snap, rolls to the right, looking,
And he has it on the
and will
court.
scramble
And he
his
shoved
way
out of
toward the
bounds
sideline,
around the
5
10-yard
yards on the ground for Tarkenton. 3rd and 5 from the 10. Navy holding Syracuse to a field goal here would be monumental. But 3rd and 5 is what their focus has to be on right now.
Third down, 5 yards to go. 10 yards to the end zone.
In the shotgun, 3 wideouts, a tight end, and a running back. Tarkenton takes the snap, rolls to the left. He sees some green in front of him. Can he get to the sideline? He can, and he converts just very close there, but reaches out the football, gets past the yellow stripe. And Syracuse has a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. An enormous 5-yard scamper from last season's Heisman winner. 5:45 and running on the clock here left in this game of the century.
And this is the 8th play of the drive.
In the shotgun, the backup takes the reins. Cordell Stewart hands this thing off. Can he charge for the end zone? He can. That's Ernest Byer, the 5th-year senior, with his first touchdown run of the season. 43 yards on the day for the 5th-year senior. And Syracuse looks to put this thing on ice. 42-24 is the lead. 5:26 remains in the contest, and Navy has a little bit of work to do. Certainly not over quite yet after we've seen some crazy comebacks from this Navy squad.
Ready to kick this one off.
in the League One history books. Booting this thing away.
Great kick.
Navy will not have the chance to receive, and 75 yards is the task.
The quarterback comes back on the field, and I'm sure he's hoping to make up for that interception.
In the shotgun, 5 wide receivers in the pattern. What can Peter Moss do? Moss standing in the pocket. A lot of pressure there, but finds Henry for a 7-yard gain. Hurry up is on for the midshipmen. You have to imagine that'll be what we'll see for the rest of the game. In the shotgun, 5 wide yet again, 2nd and 3. Moss rolling to the left, pocket collapsing. This one is picked off, and that should ice things. Forcing a turnover is number 47, John Lynch, the 4th-year junior. That's the strong safety playing at corner, out of position, but in the right position to force the turnover.
From the 40-yard line, first down.
1st and 10 on the Navy 40-yard line. Tarkenton back in the game. Takes the snap and will hand things off. Moving forward for a first down and a little bit more. That's going to be Ernest Biner. He's taken down for a 13-yard gain.
From the 27-yard line.
1st and 10.
First down.
From the 27-yard line in the shotgun. Fran Tarkenton takes the snap. Clean pocket, rolling out to the right, looking for his player and finds him, and waltzing into the end zone is Ernest Biner with his 2nd touchdown of the day. A 27-yard grab to give Syracuse a 48-24 lead pending the PAT. The 7th touchdown on the day as Syracuse extends the lead over the Naval Academy.
And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff.
4:29 remains in the contest as number 2 leads number 1 with the game winding down. This will be Travis King catching and taking a knee in the end zone. Five wideouts in the pattern yet again for the Academy.
We're late in the 4th quarter. This game has been a blowout for quite some time, and Kirk and I are just looking to make our flights.
Moss in the shotgun.
Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers in the formation.
Surveys, rolls out to the left as the pocket collapses, and he's just going to take this thing himself. Rolling, putting the spin move. 2 of them on there now. Moss is getting his highlight reel tape in. A huge gain there for the redshirt sophomore, number 10, Peter Moss. Scampers for 33 yards, not without plenty of excitement along the way. Setting up on the orange 42-yard line.
Let's see now how the defense responds to giving up the gain on the run.
Moss sets up in the shotgun with his usual quintet of wide receivers. 4:10 left in the game as he chucks this thing and finds Mays on the left side. Moving quickly are the midshipmen. Moss in the shotgun yet again. 4 minutes remain in the contest.
With the
as he throws this thing just over the head of a streaking receiver. 2nd and 10.
Practice and coaching.
From the 26-yard line, it's 2nd down.
3:59 remains as Moss is in the shotgun once more. Taking the snap, Syracuse trying to close things down quickly. Henry making an acrobatic catch to push things to 3rd and 3.
Sometimes a good throw and catch just beats you.
Moss hurries his guys up to the line. Takes the snap. Throws to the left to the uncovered Mays for the first down and more. A nice spin move. Gets himself into the end zone, and that'll pad the stats for Drew Mays, his first touchdown of the season.
And doesn't it always seem like he just finds a way to get open?
Navy elects to kick the PAT. 49-31 is the Syracuse lead.
Less than 4 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Our score, Syracuse 49, Navy 31.
The onside is on the cards here as Ewing picks out his favorite spot on the football, gets his legs through it, but this will be recovered by Syracuse on the Navy 44-yard line. .336 left in the contest here as we take a look back at when early in this game, Fran Tarkenton tossed an interception that was returned for a touchdown. Things look to be shaking out Navy's way, but in the end, Syracuse has, demonstrating on this play here, pulled away from Navy quite well. Fran Tarkenton showing his athleticism to not only get through the first player, but then have the wherewithal to pitch it to his freshman running back, Larry Centers, and get a great gain on the play, 24 yards on the option pitch.
From the 20-yard line, it's first
About
down.
3 minutes left here in the game as Tarkenton is back in the shotgun. He'll hand things off to his favorite running back, that's Ernest Biner.
Call it a gain of 6 yards. That'll make it 2nd and 4.
They're about 4 yards away here on 2nd down. Just over 2 minutes in the game.
In the shotgun, rolling to the right and taken down. That's a 9-yard sack. Tarkenton had nowhere to go and is drilled into the turf. 3rd and 13 will be the ask for the Orange.
So that sack leaves them a little ways to go here. It's 3rd down and 13.
In the shotgun with 13 yards to the strike. Tarkenton takes the snap, looks around, tosses things up, and finds his man. That's number 14, Flipper Anderson, who's had a very active day through the air. And Syracuse will try and add on some more points from the 1-yard line. Four-time reigning national champions. The Orange, of course, have been disrespected in the past in the polls. Not so this season, as they came in at number 2. They catch number 1 Navy in the opener of the season. And if the score does in fact hold, they will get the victory and more than likely vault into that number 1 position. As it appears we may have some backups heading into the fray here. We'll see if someone can get their first career touchdown in what may be a storied history as a Syracuse Orange.
It's first down, and they'll be looking for 6 points here.
From a little further back than the 1 yard line, redshirt freshman Cordell Stewart steps in, and he will take a knee. There will be no padding of the stats here. Coach Spectre decides confirming the victory is all he's here for. Up 49-31, Syracuse can look ahead at its schedule, staring down Ole Miss, a team who has been just taken over by Coach Carter, formerly of Hawaii. That should be a great contest at home for the Orange. Following that, they have 2 bye weeks and then another enormous game, a repeat of last year's national title at home against the Michigan Wolverines. As far as the Navy midshipmen, they can keep their heads high here as a loss to the 4-time national champions Syracuse Orange is nothing to be disappointed about. They will host the Washington Huskies the following week, coached by Coach Jared Barker. Getting a bye after that, they take on Marshall and South Florida, waiting until September 28th to get a road game against the other Barker brother in Mississippi State. As things close out here, Syracuse will take home the victory 49-31 over the Navy midshipmen. This game of the century certainly lived up to its billing as Navy jumped out to a quick 14-0 lead. Syracuse bounced back to make it 14-all before the midshipmen took a 7-point lead into halftime. However, after half, Navy was only able to manage a field goal and another touchdown as Syracuse piled things on and won 49-31 in the end. Thank you for joining us here in League One football. Another classic is in the books. I'm Chase Hannon, and look forward to witnessing even more classics with play-by-play from Coach Ninja and Coach Spectre.
Thank you, Coach Chase. I appreciate your doing the work here on this game.
No problem.
It was a good contest. Obviously, Navy had us on our toes at the start.
That pick six was crazy.
Yeah, there was a little bit of stomping of feet on the sidelines on that one. On Navy's opening drive, we had 2 or 3 passes hit our defenders' hands, and fall to the turf. And then on their first go at it, he picked it off and took it to the house. So, we ended up getting some picks in the second half that kind of evened things out in terms of passes hitting defenders' hands. So it all worked out in the end. But obviously, the 14-0 lead by Navy in the early going, and we were having to make some quick adjustments. So credit to them for taking the early lead like that and jumping out to a hot start.
Navy, you here?
Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a League One production, League One game coming to you live. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Catch us again live here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as Ole Miss under new head coach Silent Hawk will get his SEC opener at home against Georgia. Look forward to see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful day.